Hello, this is Greg from SharePoint Maven, and in this video I would like to show you a hidden feature we have in Microsoft Loop that in my opinion is underutilized. And I'm talking about a feature that I call Detail Pane. Let me explain to you what I'm talking about. So on this loop page, I just added a few loop components. It's a progress tracker and, voting table and Kanban board and so on. And of course, I filled it with some data, but if you hover over, a cell, in this first column, all right, you will actually get to see this little arrow that will pop up. And, I guess Microsoft calls it a detail view. I call it a detail pane, doesn't matter. If you click on it, so you get to see pretty much the same kind of fields you get to see in here. These are pretty much the columns from the table. But in addition to that, you also get to see, this section at the bottom. And first of all, you can type in the text in here. But what I really love about this extra detail pane is that you can type in the /, just like you can type it on the regular loop page, and you will get to see all this additional essentially components you can add. Now you don't get the full list, like you cannot add obviously another table within a table, or a task list or anything like that. However, you will notice, for example, let me give you a demo of a checklist. All right, if I wanted some sort of checklist in here, you can pretty much add it in here. All right, just like that, you see. And you can add other components as well. Again, just /, same way you would do it on the loop, page, and you can add all of this extra items. Let me see. I think this is no. Let me pick on yeah, Kanban board. That's a good one. So look, Kanban board. Of course, we already have the board itself, right? And I happen to put it in the table view. It already has a checklist column. All right. So it already has a checklist column. However, let's just say I wanted another checklist column. All right, I wanted another, checklist. Maybe there are a few, checklists that I need, to track here. Not a problem. That's what the detail pane is for. So I add maybe the main checklist here, but then I click on the detail pane, and look at this. I actually have already done it, but let me kind of erase this all here. All right, once again, I can do / and I can add another checklist, and I can add another one, and so on. All right, so hopefully you get the idea. Essentially, this is pretty much like an extra space for extra information about that particular row. And each obviously row will have its own. All right, so this are pretty much additional, even Microsoft, they tell you additional comments, notes, and related content for that particular row within the table. Now, this extra detail, pane, detail view is pretty much available from any component that is a table. So that includes progress tracker and voting table and Kanban board, team retrospective. Here we go. The regular, table, of course, right? The only exception is tasks component, tasks component, all right? Task list component, I should say. Now, it does have that extra pane over here, but if you notice, there are no additional details you can add in here, all right? Essentially, this is just the fields. There is no this bottom section on the task list. And I believe this is due to the fact that task list, unlike other components unlike a Kanban board. It can be synchronized to Planner and To Do, and I think the concern here is that it will contain all this extra information that will never make it to Planner or To Do. So that's why I think Microsoft restricts this capability. But other than that, it's a really great feature in my opinion. It just improves the content management, allows you to be very creative. If you have multiple checklists for each row, you can actually add them there. And on top of that, of course, you can add pretty much any text, any content you wish. And once again, all these different choices you have available here as well. So that's all I really wanted to show you in this particular video. Hopefully that was useful. As always, happy to see you on my blog, sharepointmaven.com, as well as my YouTube channel. Goodbye.